gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
As Brittney Griner stands before a judge in Russia. The Phoenix Mercury star facing charges of bringing marijuana vape cartridges into the country illegally.
Her trial is finally getting...
So we covered Brittney Griner a while back. Her trial is getting ready to start moving. I've seen a lot of reports. It looks like she has the cool gray 11s on. They let her swag up for court. I've seen reports that say she's 100% going to be found guilty. Like I said, she got caught red-handed. I was debating with some idiots on Instagram in the comments, and they were saying, oh, they planted it on her. Da-da-da-da. I'm like, her luggage was full of these vape carts. Like, she definitely was not using them simply for consumption. It seems to me that she was trying to push them joints. Now, I don't know, but, you know, maybe she vapes a lot, but that's a little excessive to me.
Underway 4 months after being detained. Team 12's Tram I has been following the case.
She called
and has more on her trial. Tram?
Yeah, Caribe and Mark went on trial in a Moscow court today to face drug charges that could have her in prison for up to 10 years.
A glimpse of Phoenix Mercury star Brittney Griner as she was leaving a Moscow court after her trial began today.
The U.S. Embassy, the American government, cares very deeply about this case and about Ms. Griner's welfare.
U.S. diplomat Elizabeth Rood spoke to reporters after attending the opening session of Griner's trial.
And wearing a Jimi Hendrix shirt to court is not the best idea given his drug use.
I did have the opportunity to speak with Ms. Griner in the courtroom, and she asked me to convey that she is in good spirits and is keeping up the faith.
It's been more than 4 months since Griner was arrested in Moscow. Back on February 17th, the two-time U.S. Olympic basketball gold medalist was traveling to play for a Russian team when she was busted at the airport for carrying vape canisters with cannabis oil into the country. That arrest came less than a week before.
Wow, hold on. So let's go back. All y'all saying it was planted and this and the third. Look, she had complete possession. Let's see if I can get that frame. She had complete possession of the damn luggage the whole time before she went to the airport. Let's run it back.
Into the country. That arrest came less than a...
She got packages, and I'm telling you, that whole bag is full of them carts, yo. Amazon, it got her name on it, guys. I mean, she's dead to rights. Caught red-handed. Caught red-handed.
A week before Russian troops invaded Ukraine. Griner's supporters and U.S. officials say she's being wrongfully detained, fearing that she is being used as a political pawn amid rising tensions between Russia and the U.S.
Wrongful detention is unacceptable, and it endangers the safety of everyone traveling, living, working, studying abroad.
Griner's lawyers, Alexander Boykov and Maria Blagovolina, said they were unaware of any plans to exchange Griner for a Russian prisoner held in the U.S.
I think U.S. is doing enough.
So they trying to do an exchange, bruh. Are you serious? You think that Brittney Griner, respect to Brittney Griner, but she's a WNBA basketball player. You think that Brittney Griner is going to be worth exchanging for a Russian, maybe spy or prisoner? And you know they're going to want somebody who is, who has a lot of intel on the U.S. There's no way they're going to make that type of deal for Brittney Griner. The U.S. is not going to dig up, somebody's file in Guantanamo Bay, some Russian spy, and bring them over in exchange for Brittney Griner. That's just not going to happen.
In your case?
I don't know. I'm not a U.S. citizen, so I don't know what they should do.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken said
and if that's her lawyer talking about something, I don't know. I hope that's not her lawyer. She finna lose. You know when they say, oh, if your lawyer don't even wear a suit to court, if he just wear a collar shirt, you finna lose. Yeah.
In the U.S.
I think U.S. is doing enough in your case.
I don't know. I'm not a U.S. citizen, so I don't know what they should do.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken said last week there was no higher priority than bringing Brittney Griner home, as well as other Americans who were illegally detained abroad. The next hearing is set.
There he goes. As well as those other Americans who are what they're saying, quote unquote, illegally detained. But obviously she is legally being detained because she did something illegal in their country. So this is not her being illegally detained. This is her being legally detained based off of the fact that she broke a law in another country at the worst time possible. I mean, where's the accountability? She's going to have to be held accountable. Unfortunately, she made a really dumb decision. This is not the U.S. where they just gonna throw out the whatever you got in your bag or throw out your bag. No, you finna get brought up on charges, hon.
For July 7th. Back to you, Mark.
As American basketball star Brittney Griner is led to a Russian court for the first hearing of her trial,
it's really difficult.
Her wife struggles at home.
Because it's over 130 days.
130 days and she ain't letting nobody else strap her down. Y'all believe that? Do you? I mean, let me know. Somebody on the team ain't taking Griner's place. You think she's going 130 days without the D? I don't know.
And BG's still not back.
The prosecution argues Griner had the intent to import cannabis oil into Russia when she was detained at a Moscow airport on February 17th. They say Griner was carrying 2 cartridges totaling less than a gram of hash oil.
So she was carrying 2 carts. Okay, that ain't that bad. I thought it was full. It looked full. But 2 carts, 10 years. You just don't make that type of mistake in another country.
I think in most cases it wouldn't even be prosecuted in the United States.
While the Kremlin claims the case is not politically motivated, some have speculated that Griner could be released in a possible prisoner swap, but her lawyers said they were unaware of any plans.
The United States government at the very highest levels is working very hard to bring Ms. Griner, as well as all wrongfully detained U.S. citizens.
See, and that's where the faith is lost, as well as all wrong. Like once they start grouping in everybody else, then you lost. We're talking about Brittney Griner. Why are you talking about all these other people? Because they know it's hopeless.
Safely home.
But Griner's wife has her doubts.
I don't think the maximum amount of effort is being done.
She and other activists are urging
Trump would have got her out. I'll tell you that much.
President Joe Biden to strike a deal with Russia to get Griner home.
I do have to, unfortunately, also push people to make sure the things that they're telling me is.
I mean, with the diplomatic situation right now, you can't even get on the. I mean, Biden can't even get on the phone with Putin. Come on, stop it. Like, there's no way that they're going to even be able to make contact. You're going to be like, talk to my dude, talk to him, to talk to him, to talk to him, to talk to me. And then it's just a Hail Mary at this point. Like, you think that Biden is going to lift any of the sanctions that he has, unsuccessfully implemented on Russia that got our gas prices going through the roof? You think that he is going to lift up any sanctions or any restrictions or embargoes or whatnot in order to bring Brittney Griner home? You got to be out of your mind.
It's also matching their actions.
While declining to give details for security reasons, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan maintains that the Biden administration is actively engaged in this case. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Just hearing her words, talking about her father being a Vietnam vet, her new perspective on freedom, her wanting to be with her family and her teammates, her not knowing if she'll ever be free again.
Pay attention. Her new perspective on freedom. Brittney Griner, she felt so oppressed in the U.S. She did. She was one of them. BLM, we're so oppressed. We're marginalized. Say what you want to say about the states. As of now, even though we have, we've been robbed of a lot of rights, right? This is the best place to be. Even with all the violence going down, you can still find you something in the cut to avoid a lot of that in this vast land. It's getting a little hard now, but you can do it. But she has a newfound sense of freedom. And she's probably going to hold some type of resentment for the states for not getting her back to freedom, or maybe just for Biden. But I definitely think she's going to think twice about speaking that oppressed mess when she comes back, if she comes back.
On our day of freedom, hearing those words from such a beloved person.
And the thing is also, she said something about she said something about her freedom, right? And then just her situation right now is so different from anything that she's ever experienced in her life. She ended up getting caught red-handed, unfortunately. Tried to bring them carts through. But it's just the timing was horrible. And you could tell she was probably geeked up getting on the plane.
To be with her family and her teammates, her not knowing if she'll ever be free again. On our day of freedom, hearing those words from such a beloved person. It's great. And it's great that she was able to get that message to us.
They also said earlier that her spirits were high, but it doesn't really sound like it. It sounds like she went to that damn court date and was like, oh, it's OV. She ain't understand nothing. She didn't understand the language. She didn't understand anything they were saying in the courtroom. They finna violate her.
And hopefully some people are paying attention to it. Of course, the Biden administration and our State Department.
The Biden administration, they ain't finna do a damn thing.
Putting that at the front of their messaging would be amazing for us.
And you know what? I definitely think if Trump was in office, he would have got Brittney Griner out because he got LaMelo Ball out of China. So, and Brittney Griner was anti-Trump and all this stuff, but I bet she wished that Trump pardoned Kodak. I bet she wished Trump was still the president.
WNBA star and Texas native Brittney Griner has written an open letter to President Biden while detained in a Russian prison. The letter reads, quote, "As I sit here in a Russian prison alone with my thoughts and without the protection of my wife, family, friends, Olympic jersey, or any accomplishments, I'm terrified I might be here forever."
Well, there you have it. If you want Brittney Griner back, I guess you're gonna have to vote Trump. Because he was the only one who was really getting folks off, honestly. Man, Brittney Griner made a decision that will last her a lifetime. That is insane. I mean, she royally messed up. She messed up big time. This is probably the biggest dose of accountability that she'll ever take. And she was, she had some DV charges in the States, domestic violence, her fighting, her girlfriend. Y'all know that LGBT relationships are some of the most violent when it comes to domestic violence. But wow, this is crazy.
On the 4th of July, our family normally honors the service of those who fought for our freedom, including my father, who is a Vietnam War veteran. It hurts thinking about how I usually celebrate this day because freedom means something completely different to me this year.
Wow. I mean, but was she celebrating 4th of July in good faith? Because, I mean, if you look at the past tweets and see, this is why it's bad to go woke and denounce your country, the country that you're living in, because now you're begging for the leadership of your country that you've denounced help, that you also help vote in, and he's not going to do a damn thing for you. When you had a guy in office who would have looked at your case and really would have, I mean, I really believe whether she was on the left or the right, Trump would have got her out. Point blank. There would have been a deal it would have been the art of the deal, baby. But obviously she denounced Trump, and that was the only dude who was really getting people out in these overseas debacles that a lot of times they got themselves into.
I realize you are dealing with so much, but please don't forget about me and the other American detainees. Please do all you can to bring us home. I voted for the first time in 2020, and I voted for you.
This just makes it even worse. It makes it even worse. You voted for Brandon. You voted for the potato, bro. And he is not doing a damn thing for you. Dang. This is the nail. That's the nail in the coffin right there. That's the irony. That's the irony right there. I mean, I already got the caption for the thumbnail. This is crazy. I got to run that back. She voted for Brandon.
Don't forget about me and the other American detainees. Please do all you can to bring us home. I voted for the first time in 2020, and I voted for you. I believe in you.
Wow.
I still have so much good to do with my freedom.
He probably can't even remember her name. I bet if he walked by a reporter and they said, "Hey, Joe Biden, what do you plan to do to get Brittney Griner out of Russia?" Brittney who? Brittney who?
That you can help restore. I miss my wife. I miss my family. I miss my teammates. It kills me to know they are suffering so much right now. I am grateful for whatever you can do at this moment to get me home, end quote. Now, Griner was detained at a Moscow airport in February and is accused of carrying vape cartridges containing cannabis oil. Her trial in Russia
should have had that CBD.
Has been postponed until July 7th.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Guys. So we have a very special video for you today. We have the results in Brittney Griner sentenced to 9 freaking years in Russian prison. Now, let me say this. Brittney Griner was facing up to 10. And I believe they gave her a certain amount of time served. She's probably been in there 6 months, 6 to 8 months. And yeah, she is in the penitentiary. Okay. She's done for. We won't see her. Get this, guys. We won't see her till 2031. God damn. I mean, what a royal fuck up. What a royal fuck up. What a royal mistake. A huge mistake Brittney Griner made. Like I said, she was probably high in the airport. Maybe she forgot that those vape cartridges were in her luggage. Maybe she knew and intentionally brought them over. But ignorance of the law is not an excuse to break the law. And Brittney Griner broke the law. And she is getting served right now. See, there's so much irony in this because a couple years back, I remember a Brittney Griner who hated this country. Okay? I remember a Brittney Griner who was complaining about the patriarchy. Okay? The patriarchy. She was talking about the national anthem. She was speaking about the national anthem. Okay? She didn't want to come out for the national anthem. A song that is cemented in this country's history. Now she's doing a whole 180. I love this country. I was so sad that I wasn't there on 4th of July. I would have put my hand across my chest, put my hand to my heart, hold my left hand up, whatever y'all wanted me to do. I'm singing that damn national anthem. Okay? She made a big mistake. So we're gonna take a blast in the past to really understand if we should feel some type of way about Brittney Griner. Okay, should we feel some type of way about Brittney Griner, and her stance on the national anthem? It is crazy. And now they're asking for a prisoner swap for Brittney Griner. That's what the deal was, I guess, or the deal that they're trying to make. Either way, she's been sentenced. Okay, she's been sentenced. So let me get into this right quick. Griner on the national anthem. Let's see. See, all the articles now are like from 2022. I'm trying to find the older one when it first came out. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Okay, so she was talking about the patriarchy. She was talking about equal rights and equal pay for women. So she travels overseas to get that bag. My thing about the equal pay for WNBA players is that job to support the WNBA is women's job. Men do not have any stake in the WNBA. We don't have any stake in that. Because let's keep it a buck if you really want to get into it. Sports is our thing. Sports is our thing. And this is a guy who This is coming from a guy who has sisters, who loves female sports. I probably bought more WNBA basketball tickets than most of these women out here talking about it's unfair that women aren't getting paid as much as the NBA players. Yeah, because y'all aren't supporting them. I don't know if anybody saw that little skit that Bill Burr did on the WNBA, but it was absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. There's nothing that he could have said different. There's nothing he could have added on to it. And I'm going to play that afterwards. But this is a woman who is complaining about racism in America. This is a woman who is complaining about how this country is unfair to LGBT and Black women and all this kind of stuff. And it couldn't be further from the truth. Couldn't be further from the truth. This woman voted for Biden the first time she ever voted in her life. I bet she wish she could have taken that vote right back. Okay. I wish she could have taken that vote right. I bet she wish she could have taken that vote right back. See, like I said, the problem that I have with the WNBA players wanting more pay is that women don't even support y'all. And women are 80% of the consumer base, and they don't support y'all. Okay. Why? Because, quite frankly, men's sports is just more entertaining. Men are better than women at sports. Period. There's no women in the WNBA that could beat the worst NBA player one-on-one. Okay? She might get one up on him on a scrimmage. She might get a shot in his face and whatnot. But one-on-one, first 1 to 21, you're losing every time. Every time. There's no WNBA player that could beat Nate Robinson, and he just got knocked out by Jake Paul. He got his lights knocked out by Jake Paul, and Nate Robinson will still take you to the basket. Like I said, I'm a guy who loves women's sports. I played sports all throughout my life: high school, basketball, football, baseball, soccer, track and field. I love watching the women run track and field. I love watching the women play basketball. I love watching the women, do sports that men do. Because as a sports player, you're interested in sports, period. You appreciate a good athlete, period. I can appreciate that Brittney Griner is a good athlete, okay? Even though she's 6'7" and she can barely jump. So her dunks aren't really that impactful because her vertical is like 10 inches. She's right there at the goal. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. But I can appreciate that, I would love to see her play in person. I like seeing big old girls dominate, you know what I'm saying, on the basketball court. Because when I played basketball, the girls' games always went first. Right? Ladies first. We watched the girls' game. And then what happened? When you were in high school, guys, think back to high school basketball. Think back to high school basketball. When you were playing high school basketball, what it would be JV plays first. Then it would be the women's basketball team. Then it would be the males. And you would have a decent crowd for the JV. Then you would have a little bigger crowd for the women's game. And then what would happen? The stadium floods for the men's game. All the bad bitches show up when the men are playing. The bad bitches weren't showing up to the female games. They weren't, even in high school. Even in high school. They weren't showing up to the female game. This is crazy. Now that I'm thinking back on it, the women didn't even really support female volleyball. It was the men, because we were all in there like, damn, those spandex, And we supported the volleys. We supported the spikes. We supported all that. If the ball went out of bounds on the other team, no, that's out of bounds. That's out of bounds. We talking to the ref. We're trying to bribe the ref. We got cardboard posters wanting our girls to win. Where were the women? Where were the women? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. I'm going to tell you what, the only reason why most women watch sports, show up to sports events, because they want to see the men. They want to see those big old sweaty men do athletic things, gain clout, gain status. They love seeing the muscles. I mean, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. There's plenty of dyke women in the WNBA. Why don't the women start, fangirling over them? Right? Right? So this is nothing new. This is nothing new. Even think back to middle school. I want you guys to think back to middle school. When the girls were playing, no girls in the stands. When the boys were playing, all the hoes showed up. Interesting. Anyways, let's get into it. WNBA star Brittney Griner wants league to stop playing the national anthem. If the league continues to play it, that's fine. It will be all season long. I'll not be out there, she said. I'll not be out there. I know she didn't. I hope she didn't say I'll not be out there. WNBA star Brittney Griner is calling for the league to stop playing the national anthem before games and says that she will not be on the floor if it is played. During a teleconference on Monday, July 27th, Griner made her stance on the anthem known. I honestly feel like we should not be the national anthem, or we should not play the national anthem during our season, said the Phoenix Mercury Center. According to the Arizona Central, I think we should take that much of a stand. She added, I don't mean that in any disrespect to our country. Oh, really? So don't play the national anthem, but no disrespect. Okay. My dad was in Vietnam and a law officer for 30 years. I wanted to be a cop before basketball. I do have pride for my country. Where it at, though? Shout out to David Huey with the $6.99 super trap. He says, only way a girl is going to those girls' games is if they go to miss class.
Oh, say like
Exactly. You ain't telling no joke. Like girls will skip class to just go to the PE, Any like PE session that's going on. The girls always used to skip class and go to the PEs. Like even if it wasn't their period to go to PE, they still would pull up in PE. I remember high school like it was yesterday. On Saturday, July 25th, none of the Mercury and Los Angeles Sparks players were on the court during the playing of the national anthem. The women were protesting for justice for Breonna Taylor, which we all know that story, a 26-year-old black woman who was fatally shot by Louisville police officers. I'm going to protest regardless, Griner continued. I'm not going to be out there for the national anthem. If the league continues to want to play it, that's fine. It will be all season long. I'll not be out there. I feel like more are going to probably do the same. I can only speak for myself at the Olympics. I understand you're playing for your country at that point. So where is Brittney Griner when all these black women are getting killed by black men? Okay. And basically we can pretty much surmise that, Breonna Taylor was inevitably indirectly killed by a black man, if you really want to keep it a buck. The WNBA is continuing to stand in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement. Prayers on the Seattle Storm and the New York Liberty teams held a 26-second moment of silence for Taylor on Saturday. We are dedicating the season to Breonna Taylor, an outstanding EMT. The EMT thing was also debunked, who was murdered over 130 days ago in her home. Liberty star Lashia Clarendon said before the game began, Breonna Taylor was dedicated and committed to uplifting everyone around her, even if her, thuggo boyfriend wanted to get a rental car to catch a body. She added, we are also dedicating this season to say her name, a campaign committed to saying the names and fighting for justice of black women. Black women are so often forgotten in this fight for justice, who don't have people marching in the streets for them. Well, black women are the main ones who are out there marching in the streets. So I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I really don't. But anyways, let's play this skit from Bill Burr about the WNBA because I thought it is very on point. And then we will get into the topic.
I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand. How come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes, right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, oh, I don't know.
Right.
Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets.
Right. That's me. That's me. Like, I'm screaming out there, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's me for real. Oh my God.
Nobody is going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000 seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig.
Oh God. Lord.
I'm not saying no professional female athletes, Serena Williams, the women in the UFC, you know, but nobody's watching your fucking sport. And then you're going to come and you're going to get mad at fucking men. They keep doing that shit.
Right.
Why are you yelling at us? It's not our fucking job. It's not my fucking job.
Exactly. Where is all this female solidarity when it comes to the WNBA and female sports? They're nowhere to be fucking found. I'm telling you this right now because if I go to a basketball game for my alma mater, University of Georgia, if you go to the basketball games, I mean, it's hard enough for the men to fill the stands. Let's keep it a buck, unless we're playing somebody like Kentucky or, you know, another good team in the SEC, Florida or something. It's hard enough for the men to fill the stands, but when the women are playing, it's crickets.
To give a fuck about women's soccer, okay? I have men's sport to pay attention to. It's your bullshit, right?
Right.
Dude, look at the WNBA. Dude, nobody in the WNBA got COVID. Nobody. They have been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a fucking league.
Right.
None of you showed up. Where are all the feminists?
Exactly.
That place should be packed with feminists. Faces painted, wearing jerseys, flashing their titties. Going.
Exactly. You never see that. But when the men win the championship, when men win the World Cup, when men win any major event when it comes to sports, the NBA championship, the Super Bowl, who's at the parades flashing their tits? Women. And they don't do that for female sports at all.
Fucking nuts, like the guys do. In the upper deck with their big beard titties. Am I on the Jumbotron?
And I'm gonna tell you what. If you go to a WNBA game, you're going to see men there, mostly. It's going to be mostly men and little kids in the stands because men want their kids to be exposed to sports. So they bring their kids to any sporting event that they can, as many as they can. And, you know, the WNBA tickets are pretty cheap. I saw somebody in the chat say they got floor tickets for $25. There's no demand for this sport. There's no demand. Nobody wants to watch them but men and their kids. Okay?
Am I doing it? Yeah. None of you went to the fucking games. None of you. You failed them.
Yep.
Not me.
Yep.
Women failed the WNBA. Ladies, name your top 5 all-time WNBA players of all time. Come on.
And I can do that. Now, a lot of it is based off of appearance. Let's go Skylar Diggins, Candace Parker. Who else they got? I don't know. Honestly, my brain farted at 2. Come on, Chad, help me out. We got Skylar Diggins, we got Candace Parker, we got, I mean, obviously Brittney Griner. Okay. I like the Dial sisters or the Gonzalez sisters or Dial, I don't know. But they were like these twins who played for Kansas, and I think they ended up like just stopping and becoming like booty models or some shit. But they were hot, but they never went to the WNBA. God. Oh, Lisa Leslie. Yeah, but she's old school. I mean, she was like 20, 30 years ago, something. I mean, it's hard, but ask a woman to name 5 NBA players. Oh, she boom, 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 boom. A nigga in the chat said Reggie Miller's sister. I'm dead.
Listen, name 5 WNBA teams. Name the WNBA team in your fucking city. You can't do it.
Right. I think ours is Atlanta Dream. Atlanta Dream. Anyone?
You don't give a fuck about them. They play night in and night out in front of nobody. It's a fucking tragedy. Right? And then meanwhile, you look at the Kardashians.
Right.
They're making billions.
Right.
You know those Real Housewife shows? They're making money hand over fist.
What did I say? They need to stop. Honestly, you know, respect to all my LGBT sisters out here. But if y'all really want people to pull up, you're going to have to make the league look sexy. I don't know if the dykes should wear strap-ons or if the straight women should play in a bra or something, but you got to turn the league sexy. Every woman who identifies as a woman needs to be wearing a bra, straight up. Straight up. You want the league to make money? This is how you do it. Make it sexy. Just get a whole bunch of random OnlyFans girls, lower the goals like 5 feet, and let's just watch like a fucking dunk fest with tits and all that. That's the only way you're going to sell tickets. I'm just telling you that right now. That's the reality. That is the reality, okay? It sounds degrading. It sounds objectifying, but you want money, or do you just want to keep playing in the league that's being subsidized by the men?
Because that's what women are watching. The money listens. You don't want to watch this shit? You watch this shit? They just shoot it over there, drowning these whores in money. Purses and shoes and Botox. It's just raining. It's raining money. Yeah. So the money listens. You'd rather watch that shit. Real Housewives, bunch of women just tearing each other down. Well, maybe that's why your husband left you. Maybe that's why your husband left. That's why you can't have kids, bitch. That's why your ass is as flat as your titties, bitch. Right?
Ooh.
That's
Facts.
the message you sent. We would rather watch that
Yep.
than see a bunch of women come together as a team.
Exactly. Why does Basketball Wives make more than the WNBA? No! Basketball Wives makes more than the WNBA. That's disgraceful. Y'all women, hey, and y'all are 80% of the consumer base, and y'all ain't spending y'all money on other women. Lord have mercy.
To try to achieve a common goal, we would rather watch them absolutely fucking destroy each other. Yeah. No. And then in the end, you come back and you fucking yell at guys. Like, It's like, all right, so let me get this straight. I have to buy you a drink, stop the axe murderer from coming through the fucking window, and I have to watch WNBA games for you? Like, when are you going to pick up your end of the couch?
Right. Exactly. I mean, he explained it perfectly. Shout out to Romer Dubois with the $10 super trap. He says, have them play in Victoria's Secret lingerie.
Oh, say less.
Yep, but what you will have to do, you will have to set a physical attractiveness standard. Okay. You will have to set that standard, because you're going to have to make the league look sexy, okay? The WNBA, the only way they're going to sell tickets is if the WNBA looks like a goddamn Hooters waiting lobby. That's the only way they're going to sell tickets. If it looks like Twin Peaks in that motherfucker, that's the only way. Shout out to Baron Darkonen with the $9.99 super.
Oh, shit, like.
All right, so woo. Brittney Griner is in deep doo-doo. Let us keep breaking it down. This is the prison swap that is allegedly on the table to free Brit Brat. Okay, so let's see what they're talking about.
We begin with breaking news. CNN has exclusively learned that Russia responded to the prisoner swap offer for the release of 2 Americans in Russian prisons. Sources say now that Russia requested a colonel convicted of murder and in German custody be added along with this infamous arms dealer in exchange for former WNBA star Brittney Griner.
Wow.
And Paul Whelan.
So we're going to trade a convicted murderer and an arms dealer for Brittney Griner. I mean, Trump would have never made this deal. He would have just said, give me her back. I don't care. Give me the bitch back. She needs to be on American soil like right now, like yesterday. Like that shit would not go down.
Have a team of correspondents covering these breaking developments. Fred Pleitgen is in Moscow for us, but let's start with Natasha Bertrand, who is breaking this exclusive. Natasha, what have you learned?
Yeah, Allison. So what we've learned is that in response to the Russian proposal to trade that arms dealer Victor Bout for the 2 Americans detained in Russia, Paul Whelan and Brittney Griner, the Russians actually put forward their own request. And they said, well, we don't want just Victor Bout. We also want this guy named Vadim Krosakov, who was convicted in Germany in just last year, about 7 months ago in December of 2021.
Wow. So Russia is even getting another country involved. They're getting Germany involved and asking the Germans to release. Wow. They said, we're finna cash in all our chips on this one. We're going all in. We want somebody back from your country and one of your allies' countries. Chess, not checkers, ladies and gentlemen.
For murdering in broad daylight a Chechen fighter, and the Germans sentenced him to life in prison. So the Russians, in response to this proposal, submitted this kind of back channel request to the Americans. It was done through an FSB back channel. The FSB, of course, is the main security service for the Russians. And through this back channel, it was very informal. They said that they wanted this person to be included in the swap along with Victor Bout. Now, the U.S. did not take this request very seriously. It was very problematic for a number of reasons. Chief among them is that this guy, Krosakov, he is still in German custody. So the United States would in fact have to then use its influence to try to get him released from German custody to include him in this prisoner swap. But other than that, it was not viewed by the U.S. to be a serious counter proposal to what the U.S. had said is a very substantive proposal, which is to trade Bout for these 2 Americans. Now, it remains to be seen whether the Russians have put forward or will put forward any other request. But this just shows, this underscores that the Russians did in fact engage with the U.S.'s proposal. Now, whether or not the Americans view that as substantive, that's another question.
Fred, you're sharing the byline on this exclusive reporting. The U.S. says that it's not a serious proposal. Has it even gone far enough that Germany has responded?
Well, the Germans certainly did at least deal with it to a certain extent. And I think one of the things that shows just how serious the administration right now is about trying to get this prisoner swap to happen, about trying to get Brittney Griner and Paul Whelan out of Russian custody, is that there were quiet inquiries by the U.S. to the German government. We have that from a senior German government source saying this was on a fairly low level, and the Germans also never really believed that it was a real strong proposal or one to be taken seriously. It was merely an inquiry. Would the Germans possibly be willing to consider that? Now, the Germans say that they never really talked about this proposal on a higher level. It never reached the top levels of German government, but certainly they did receive inquiries from the U.S. About Krosakov. However, he is a very, very important prisoner to the Germans. And again, it was something that wasn't broadly discussed in the German government. However, the U.S. did make that inquiry, Victor.
Wow, look at all the bullshit that Brittney Griner has strummed up. One geeked up ass LGBT sister can cause this whole geopolitical nightmare. Wow, man, this is history in the making. Shout out to Romer Dubois with the $5 super trap. He says they want to trade Brittney the pawn for a queen and a damn rook.
Oh, say less.
Yes, absolutely. Nice chess reference. I hope you guys caught on to that.
Fred, tell us more about Vadim Krosakov and why he is so important. So he was a colonel, and what else?
Yeah. Well, he was a colonel in the FSB, in the intelligence service of the Russians, and he is obviously the one who the German court convicted of killing that former Chechen fighter in Berlin in broad daylight in 2019. And the reason why this is so important for the Germans is because
run that shit. Hold on.
Of killing that for the Well, he was a colonel in the FSB, in the intelligence service of the Russians, and he is obviously the one who the German court convicted of killing that former Chechen fighter in Berlin in broad daylight.
So he murdered a Chechen fighter in Berlin in broad daylight. These European gremlins are on demon time.
In 2019. And the reason why this is so important for the Germans is because the court in Germany that dealt with this case clearly stated that this was a murder that was called for by the Russian Federation, that was organized by Russia's state security services, and essentially led by Russia's state security service. It was something that caused a huge spat between the Russian government and the German government. Several Russian diplomats were expelled. And one of the other things that's really important also is not only that the Germans said, look, this is a complete breach of German sovereignty. And just for that reason, obviously, Krosakov is a very important prisoner to the Germans. But it also happened right after a change of government in Germany as well. It was when Angela Merkel left office. The conviction was after Angela Merkel left office and the Schulz government came into office. Right after that is when this conviction happened. And the new German government showed that it wanted to be tougher on Russia, immediately expelled Russian diplomats. And so therefore, Krosakov is a very, very important prisoner that the Germans are holding. And certainly there's absolutely no considerations, I'm told right now, in Berlin to release Krosakov.
So, Natasha, U.S. Secretary of
So that deal isn't going through.
State Tony Blinken spoke with his Russian counterpart today, but this was not the vehicle for that offer. How did the Russians respond and ask for this additional trade?
Correct, Victor. And what we're told is,
I mean, they talking about it like they trading NBA players or some shit. It's a WNBA player. She don't get no max contract.
that the Russians communicated this through a back channel. Essentially, FSB officers reached out to the United States through these channels to float the possibility that they would potentially get Krosakov back. They essentially told the United States, look, if you're offering boot, then we want Krosakov. And this was not viewed by the U.S. as a serious proposal because, again, it was not proposed at the Lavrov-Blinken level. It was proposed at lower levels, but it did give the U.S. an idea of the kind of proposal and the kind of swap that Russia might be looking for. And importantly, it also indicated to the United States that Russia might not actually be serious about this swap at all because it was just not viewed as something that the U.S. and Germany would actually be willing to do. It was
So they was just doing that as a joke. They just was testing the water. They ain't finna let Brittney grow. Wait, look. They ain't finna let her go. Hey, we'll see you in 2031, Brittney.
Viewed more by the U.S. government as an attempt to buy time, as an attempt to stall until the trial of Brittney Griner is over, and then the Russians feel that they can come to the table. So all of this was viewed by the United States really as a game that the Russians were playing. They don't view it as serious. But it remains to be seen, of course, whether the Russians are going to ask for another person in addition to boot on a more formal level, because, of course, the U.S. is asking for two people of its own back.
Okay, Natasha Bertrand, Fred Pleitgen, thank you very much for all of that breaking news.
Shout out to Retro Conservative Swirlers of America with the $1.99 super sticker.
Oh, say less.
Yes, sir. So now it is time to see how the community is reacting to Brittney Griner's prison sentence. And who better to give a synopsis on what is going down in the geopolitical sphere as it relates to the community than Boosie Badass himself, who previously got into his own issues on the highways with Georgia State Patrol over his marijuana usage on the road. And he actually looks high right now. So let's get into it.
How the hell this girl get 9 years for a weed pen?
So he asked how the hell she got 9 years for a weed pen, and the way that she got 9 years is because that's Russian law. See, black people think that you can just go anywhere and do whatever the fuck you want to do. Okay? That's really what it is. If you really want to keep it a buck, that's what it is. Brittney is playing stone basketball right now. She is dribbling a boulder. Shorty is dribbling a piece of granite right now. Okay? It's over. She's never going to step foot on a basketball court again. I mean, by the time that she gets out, she's going to be an old woman. I mean, options are limited. She won't remember how it feels to embrace her wife. She won't remember how it feels to put that strap on in front of her and pipe her wife down from the back. She's not going to be able to remember what it feels like to sniff that cocoa butter in her wife's hair, and that little funk that's coming out of her weave that she's been wearing for 2 or 3 months. She won't even remember how that feels. Okay? Sheesh.
And the USA ain't doing nothing about it. You tell me that. If that was Taylor Swift, it'll be a peace treaty right now.
I don't think Taylor Swift would be that dumb. And this is not a matter of making a peace treaty. See, Russia is in conflict with the Ukraine, and I'm not going to go into the specifics of that situation, but they are in conflict for a reason. There is no peace treaty that the Americans can present that will resolve that conflict. Okay? NATO has already made it clear that they're not willing to negotiate with the Russians on that regard. So there's no peace treaty that would have came about whether it was Taylor Swift or Brittney Griner. Okay? They're not playing ball with us when it comes to Ukraine. Especially when we've ignored every request that they have asked to remove nuclear weaponry around their borders. Shout out to David Huey with the 279 super trap. He says, everyone light one up on behalf of Brittney.
Oh, say like
Right. Like, I mean, that's what we need to do. Gas one for Brittney Griner. We need to make a new holiday. Instead of 420, we need to make 8-4. Okay? We need to turn 8-4 into a August 4th into a weed smoking holiday now. You know, it's so funny because in America, she said this country was so bad. It's so treacherous. But literally, I can go into any city that marijuana is illegal in, light a blunt in front of an officer's face, and I guarantee that I will be out of jail within 16 hours. Okay? I could go to any city where weed is illegal in America. I could roll a fucking 10-foot dab joint with that Zaza in it. Okay? with that purple cane kush, okay? Or that Gorilla Glue, or that Sticky Icky, that Maui Wowie, okay? That them cookies. I could roll a dab joint with hash oil and just throw a vape cart in that bitch. Just throw the whole vape cart in it. Don't even take the oil out of vape cart. Just throw the whole vape cart in the damn joint. I will light that bitch up in front of an officer and be out of jail within 16 hours. Even if he probably won't even arrest me. He'll probably just be like, look, hey, take that wherever you want. Kim Dog, shout out to my nigga 1-2. Kim Dog, G13. Hey, put in the chat your favorite. Fuck it. Put in the chat your favorite strain. We going all the way tonight. Okay? We going all the way tonight. Mr. Nice Guy, okay? I could go to, matter of fact, we finna pull up Leafly. We finna pull up Leafly just to show you that there are websites in America. I mean, niggas are selling weed off of fucking Instagram stories now in illegal states. And you're going to tell me that this isn't the best country to be in? Okay, let's look at some sativas. Let's look at that Blue Dream. That Hawaiian sativa, that Mexican sativa, they call that mota. Okay? They call that mota. Come on, y'all. Let's see more strains. That lemon sativa. South Indian sativa. Pedro Sweet sativa. Shout out to CA with the $4.99 super trap. He says, would you negotiate with U.S.? Biden, social justice warrior, Twitter, been blaming Russia for all our problems. Why should they?
Oh, say like
You've absolutely got a good point. You absolutely got a good point. They have been badgering Russia. They've been badgering Russia, okay, about all this. They've been putting pressure on Russia. We got dispensaries. You got dispensaries in states where it's not even fucking legal. That shit is crazy. But anyways, it's wild out here, y'all. It's wild out here, and she was complaining very adamantly about the fairness of this country, and now she's seeing how unfair other countries can be.
It'll be a slight. They'll be drafting to go to war.
Blue Dream. We didn't mention the Blue Dream now. Orangutan Kush.
For a weed pen. 9 years.
I guess I'll see you next lifetime. Get caught with that same shit in the U.S. and you probably won't even get probation. They'll probably just fine you and you'll get a misdemeanor possession charge.
What that show for black women in the United States and the vice president as a black woman?
From my understanding, she's Indian. And for two, Kamala Harris was locking up black men for weed charges and was not reducing any weed charges. No, she wasn't. Kamala Harris was not for the weed. Okay? She did not support the weed. I'm telling you that right now.
You supposed to be on the front line. You supposed to be on the front line to get that black woman out of jail. 9 damn years. Y'all fucked up in this world.
Yep. 9 years. 9 years. Okay. And it was a horrible decision that she made. One of the worst decisions that she probably made in her life. Okay. This was not something, especially looking at the geopolitical climate, this was not something that she should have done. And here goes the cheerleaders in the comment. Facts. Somebody said y'all forgot who she was before she was VP. Do some research. She's helping no one who is black. Yeah, exactly. They hate us and they trying to prove a point. Who is they? Who is they? This has nothing to do with white people in America. This is the Russian government. Boosie, you my nigga, one of my top 5, but bro, stop it. You don't look at the news. Do you from day one? The White House been trying to get her home. Talks of a trade for her and a second American over there locked up for 2 years. Talks about trading a Russian arms dealer who is locked up here for 25 years. Only did 5 to 6 of that, bro. Chill. Talks been in the works. Look at the news, big dog. You late. They can't make a move until the rule of law was done there. Facts. Yeah, and I agree with that. Maybe something can get done to where Brittney is brought home, but the Russian courts have spoken, and until we hear anything different, she is taking a vacation in Moscow. That's what America KKK voted for. Bro, what does the KKK have to do with fucking Russia? These people are literally dumb. If Donald Trump could be president, so could be Boosie. Oh, hell no. All right, that's where I got to stop. And that was a black woman. When literally last week he spoke about spitting on the first black woman that he saw. He's spitting on all the nurses who typically tend to be black women in those prisons. Okay. Ask me how I know. Just look at Gunna and Young Thug. We did a story on Gunna. He got that black woman fired because he had her smuggling drugs into the prison so that he could be a kingpin in jail.
They taught me my parents taught me 2 important things. 1, take ownership for your responsibilities, and 2, to work hard for everything that you have. That's why I pled guilty to my charges.
Take ownership of your responsibilities. That's why she pled guilty. No, you pled guilty because you didn't want to get violated. You knew you were wrong. You got caught red-handed, and you didn't want to get super violated by those Russian courts. And you thought that they would show leniency since you had been such a good inmate. Okay? Okay? I mean, she had denounced this country just a couple years ago. And now here she is begging for this country for her life back.
I understand everything that's being said against me, the charges that are against me, and that is why I pled guilty. But I had no intent to break any Russian law. I want to apologize to my teammates, my club, Genka, the fans, and the city of ECAT for my mistake that I made and the embarrassment that I brought.
Uh-oh, voice cracking up. Mistake that I made, embarrassment that I brought. She's taking full accountability, and there are people still in the comments saying that she was framed. She did that shit, bro. She did that shit. I don't agree that she should be locked up for this long for 2 weed pens, but guess what? She's not in the States, so it doesn't matter.
I made an honest mistake, and I hope that in your ruling that it doesn't end my life here. I know everybody.
In my life, it's just 10 years. It's just 10 years. Don't black people tell you to, hey, suck it up, shut up, and take your time. Don't say none. Don't say none. Keep your mouth closed. Sit down and take your time. And now everybody want to scream and yell and holler. What happened to just taking your time like a man? You want to be a man? Then take your time like a man, okay? Respectfully. How dare you with the $9.99 super trap says she sure wishes she was in evil racist America right about now, huh?
Oh, say less.
Absolutely. I bet she I bet she would rather be on a plantation picking cotton than be in them damn Russian prisons.
He keeps talking about political pawn and politics, but I hope that is far from this courtroom. Your Honor.
Ha! So you heard her. You heard her. She is in that bitch sick. Oh, she's sick. I know she's sick too. Oh, I would be sick. She probably didn't come off of her high until like 48 hours after being locked up. She was like, what the fuck?
Tonight, pressure builds on President Biden to broker a prisoner swap with Russia to free basketball star Brittney Griner. Today, a Russian judge gave her a 9-year sentence after finding her guilty of drug possession and smuggling. The two-time Olympic gold medalist pleaded with the Russian judge.
Pooh Shiesty mask, Pooh Shiesty mask, Pooh Shiesty mask. They rocking the Pooh Shiesties in Russia. They said they ain't playing with y'all ass. Yes, we know how you get down. We know how you get down in America with the Pooh Shiesty mask. We're going to return the favor.
Judge not to, quote, end her life and apologize, saying she never intended to break laws or hurt anyone. The U.S. considers Griner and another American prisoner wrongfully detained by Russia. We have a lot of news to get to tonight. CBS's Nancy Cordes starts us off from the...
I mean, if she pled guilty, is she really wrongfully accused? Stay with me here. She pled guilty. The accusations made upon her were absolutely upright, rightfully so. She pled guilty to the charges and she's taking accountability. And the judge violated her, gave her the damn near the maximum sentence.
The White House. Good evening, Nancy.
Margaret, the White House was unequivocal today. Brittney Griner should never have had to stand trial, let alone be sentenced to nearly a decade behind bars.
Oh, really? Why not? Why would she never have? Guys, do y'all not understand that she's in a whole nother fucking country? It's a different rule of law. Brittney Griner should have never had stood trial and let alone be sentenced to 9 years in prison. No. When you go to another place and you break their rules, you are subject to their rule of law. Remember when DJ Esco got caught up with them drugs? He was in that, I think he was in Dubai. He was in the prison for 56 nights. They wrote an album about it. Nigga was in the prison. Them Arabs got on his ass. He converted to Islam ASAP. My nigga was in there. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Like, come on, dog. So, you know, he got let out because we had decent relations. But she got caught red-handed. She's not the first one to be locked up abroad. She's not. And she won't be the last.
But there's also hope tonight that the Russians may finally negotiate in earnest over a prisoner exchange now that the sentencing phase is over.
But I had no intent to break any Russian laws.
From a cage in the courtroom, WNBA star Brittney Griner expressed remorse. But that did not stop a Russian judge from sentencing her to 9 years in a penal colony.
I want to apologize to my teammates, my club, Gemka, the fans, and the city of ECAT.
Woo!
My mistake that
Behind them bars, Lord have mercy. She is breaking down. See, women aren't built to handle this type of stress. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I don't give a fuck how tall she is. Women are not built to handle this type of stress. And I know she's been an athlete, so I think she has the willpower to you know, knock this 9-10 years out. I think she has the willpower to knock this decade out. The question is, will her wife still be there? That's the question. Will her boo thing still be there? Okay? That's the real question. Is she going to hold it down? Can she live without getting strapped down by another woman or man? Because let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Brittney Griner's wife, she is a convenient lesbian. Let's just say that. She's a convenient lesbian. And what I mean by that is she is pretty much pansexual. She's fucking with anything. Anything with the bag, honey. Anything with the bag, okay? If you got a bag, she fucking. If you got a bag, she fucking. I'm going to tell you that right now. Will she be able to tough this decade out? That's the question.
That I made and the embarrassment that I brought onto them.
The sentence prompted outrage from her Phoenix Mercury teammates and her league. President Biden called it unacceptable.
Russia is wrongfully detaining Brittney.
The 6'9" center was on
Why the fuck do they keep saying wrongfully detaining? She broke the law and they gave her the maximum sentence.
her way to play in Russia when she was arrested in February. Russian authorities accused her of drug smuggling after
Look at the irony. Look at the shirt. Black Lives Matter. Peace. Does that say peace? I can't even tell what it says. The irony. You think Russia gives a fuck about Black Lives Matter? No. They saw that damn hoodie. Oh, another one of those. I mean, you can't get any dumber. You're repping apparel that is a fucking scam. I mean, how can you in good faith still be saying Black Lives Matter when these niggas have shown that they don't give a fuck about themselves or anybody else? Even the damn organization is corrupt from the bottom up and from the top down. The black community is on demon time.
of drug smuggling after finding less than a gram of cannabis oil in her luggage.
I love my family.
In a bid to bring Griner and another American, Paul Whelan, home, U.S. officials have proposed a prisoner swap, possibly involving Russian arms dealer Victor Bout.
But it's a serious proposal. We urge them to accept it. They should have accepted it weeks ago when we first made it.
But the Russians said they wouldn't negotiate until Griner was sentenced.
That's real. And that is a smart move. And what I will say, though, guys, which it looks like they might be willing to play ball, no pun intended, you have to watch your actions. You have to make sure that you understand where you are at all times, especially as a black person. Now, this has nothing to do with race, in my opinion. She would have got arrested if she was, like Boosie said, Taylor Swift or you know, Joe Schmo down the block. Okay. She got caught red-handed and she pled guilty. What more is there to see?
The Russian court systems and Putin have to be able to justify to the Russian people they convicted a U.S. athlete.
Bill Evanina is the former head of counterintelligence for the U.S. government.
This can go on for a long time, especially if Lavrov and Putin want something specific that we're unwilling to give.
It's very unusual for U.S. officials to even discuss prisoner swap details in public. But this time, Margaret, they say they felt they had no choice after making an offer to the Russian and then waiting for weeks without getting any serious response.
It's a good point, Nancy. There are Americans detained in half a dozen countries around the world. Thank you for those details.
And you know what? I don't think that I'm okay as a tax-paying citizen. I'm not okay with just giving up prisoners, just giving up violent foreigners in exchange for Brittney Griner. So I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. Would you vote? Because I think we should have a vote in this trade, in this swap. Okay. Would you vote to trade Russian prisoner or Russian arms dealer for Brittney Griner? Okay. Put a poll in the chat. The first answer will be yes. We need to come to a let's see, compromise. Or B, no, she needs to do her time. Matter of fact, we'll say no. See ya in 2031. Okay. So vote on the poll. Vote on the poll. Let me know what you guys think. I don't think that I'm okay with that. As a tax-paying citizen, I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that. It's either all or nothing. Either we get her back without giving anything, or we take, we take the L and see you in 2031. Okay? Because as a tax-paying citizen, if we have a violent Russian criminal in custody, I don't feel so good about just giving him back to the Russians, especially when he can give intel about how the prisons are ran, which is very vital intel. Maybe give some personal details about wardens or jail officials or CEOs. You never know what that motherfucker knows, and he's an arms dealer and a spy. This is some 007 shit. You think James Bond would go on a mission to free Brittney Griner? Or the British Brittney Griner equivalent? No. Okay. So my question is, how long before Brittney gets into a fight with one of them, those real glider bitches? Okay, because the gliders that she complaining about, the white tears and the white privilege that she complaining about over here, boy, she's not gonna see no white privilege over there. She's gonna see a whole bunch of white people suffering, and then she's gonna be like, maybe I'm not suffering in my country because of the color of my skin. Maybe I'm suffering because I have a psychological disposition to make me out to be the victim in every situation, even though I'm living a 1% life. She was living a 1% life before she was arrested in Russia. Let's keep it a buck. Maybe not 1%, but top 15, 20%. She's living a great life. Why do you think her wife chose her? Cherelle. And like I said, Cherelle is an incognito, convenient lesbian, a lipstick lesbian, as one may call them. She's a convenient lesbian. She has taken dick before. She is either taking dick now or she will take dick in the future. Okay? She is not a lesbian. She's a convenient lesbian. So the question is, how long before Brittney Griner gets into a fight with one of those glider women over there? And then how long before Cherelle hops on her new piece of meat?
This is Cherelle Griner interview. Marker.
Cherelle,
Already chasing clout on ESPN. Lord have mercy.
thank you so much for being with me today. I first want to just congratulate you in this bittersweet moment because May 7th, you graduated cum laude from North Carolina Central University, one of the...
Uh-oh, so she's increasing her education while Brittney's behind bars, leveling up, getting the bag, as they say. There's no way she's been celibate this whole time. Stop it. Shout out to Pan with the $5 super trap. He says, entertaining as fuck tonight, BGZ. Super chat challenge activate.
Oh, say less.
Yeah, let's get it, y'all. Let's get a super chat challenge going up. Who can spend the most money? You know what I mean? The $100 challenge. Let's get it.
6 remaining HBCU law schools, and it's bittersweet because there's someone who's been your biggest cheerleader who was not able to participate in that graduation and not be there for you. And of course, I'm talking about Brittney Griner, your wife. How are you?
Thank you, first and foremost. You know, I'm okay because I have to be okay. But in reality, like,
Translation, she's okay because she swapped Brittney Griner's strap out for a fleshy penis.
I'm not well, to not have BG's presence, there. I've known BG, 11 years. So she knew, day one as me being a poli-sci major at Baylor that I wanted to be a lawyer, So,
Oh, shit. I thought she was going to say me being a polyamorous woman. Lord have mercy. I'm done.
So we've been in this for a minute together. And so she's been there every step of the way for the 3 years. And so I'm blessed she was able to be there year 1, 2, and 3. But it was definitely disheartening that she wasn't there for the finish line.
I know you've got to relive this day so much, but for folks who don't really know what happened, can you take us back to February 17th?
I woke up, I want to say around like 5 a.m. I was in our home in Phoenix thinking I'm just going to wake up, get a message from BG. I landed in Russia, babe, but that was not the case. I had messages on my phone from BG, about 50 messages. Like it was just, babe, wake up, hello, wake up. I'm like, what are they?
I'm dead. She knew her ass was in. She knew she was in hot water once they looked through her bag. She's like, babe. That's why she was on her phone. I'm like, why is Brittney on her phone when she going through this checkpoint? Why is she on her phone so much? Babe.
They saying they're charging you, and I'm instantly I go into like lawyer mode. I'm like, well, what are they saying to you? And I'm like, did they tell you? I'm like, they just can't grab you and not tell you.
She goes into lawyer mode, but she knows nothing about Russian law. Oh, they just can't grab you and not tell you something. Yes, they can. They've assassinated plenty of people without telling them something. You think that the Russian spies just go up and they say, well, let me tell you something before I kill you? Fuck no. They put the poison in your drink, you croak over dead, and they walk off into the sunset and have a vodka.
Something. And, she's there for hours and they don't say anything,
What was the last thing she said to you before she left for Russia?
It's the irony of all of it. She didn't want to go back. So she just said she was so exhausted from always having to go overseas. And we talked about it and I was like, well, you know what, babe, let's just make this your last year overseas then. I was like, you don't have to go back anymore. I was like, we'll figure something else out, when it comes to pay, because obviously there is a tremendous difference in the amount of money that she makes when she's playing WNBA versus when she goes overseas. And so that's why it's been something that like she had to do. If the WNBA
they're trying to make this a WNBA problem rather than a Brittney Griner accountability problem. Well, if the WNBA would have paid her more, she wouldn't have had to go overseas and get a bag. There are plenty of male athletes who can't make it into the NBA, the NFL, and they go to the CFL, the Canadian Football League, okay? They go overseas and play basketball in China. You don't see what's his name? Stoudemire. Is that his name? The one who it wasn't Amari Stoudemire. It was who is the famous basketball player who basically is like the Kobe in China now? The Starberry, Stephon Marbury. You don't see Stephon Marbury getting locked up by the Chinese government. And Lord knows we got problems with China, U.S. and China, but you don't see Stephon Marbury getting locked up. I wonder why. There are plenty of black men and white men who can't make it into the professional leagues or need some more player development, and they don't make it in the NBA. They don't make it in the NFL, so they play for these smaller leagues. They're getting smaller pay. They're probably not even getting paid as much as the WNBA players. But they're still complaining. They're acting like every male basketball player makes it to the NBA. I played college football. I didn't make it to the fucking NFL. Okay? And I could have went to the CFL or some XFL, but, I don't want CTE. So I'm good, all right? I'm good. I like working out, but I'm good on the CTE, the brain damage. Yeah, you don't see me complaining like, oh, man, I ain't making it in the NFL, bro. Like, bro, they really racist, bro. Even though everybody in the goddamn NFL is black. I mean, well, if the WNBA would have paid her more, she wouldn't have had to go overseas. Like I said, there are plenty of other athletes who have to go overseas to get that bag. Point blank.
NBA paid BG what she makes overseas and treated her the way she's treated overseas, she wouldn't go.
When was the last time
Told
you
you.
spoke to Brittney?
The last time that I've heard my wife's voice was actually February 17th.
How is she doing? And how do you know?
Exactly. I don't truly know.
Yes.
I'm in a position of complete vulnerability right now. I have to trust people that I didn't even know until February 17th. So I'm trusting, her lawyers to, tell me when they go see her, how is she? It's the first question I ask, how is she? How does she look? How is her spirit? How is her energy? But the truth of the matter is, because I haven't heard her voice myself, I don't 100% know. But I am being told that, she's doing okay.
So a week after Brittney was detained, Russia invades Ukraine.
That almost killed me, actually. I was terrified what that meant. Am I ever going to see her again? Initially, that was the first thing that probably popped in my mind when that happened. I thought that was it. I'm like, I'm really never going to see her again.
Is she being used as a political pawn?
So you heard her. She said she's never going to see her again immediately. So she already thinking about, okay, how am I going to get my sexual fix? How am I going to supplement my orgasms that I'm used to having?
Yes. Yes.
If it was LeBron or KD or Steph Curry.
Let me stop you right here. It's not. It wasn't. They're not that stupid. End of discussion. If it was LeBron, if it was KD, if it was another black man, they would have let him out, right? Wrong. Wrong. Let me tell you what, if it was LeBron or KD, they would have had better leverage. I'll say that. There would have been more leverage to make a trade. Those are some folks out, okay, I don't approve of it, but make the trade. Fuck it. We need LeBron back for next season. Point blank.
Do you think that you would be sitting here today?
Respectfully, and no shade to them when I say this, but the answer to that question would be no, I don't. And I just think, it's because we do live in a world that, the bigger the platform, the bigger the urgency. And, because of the difference in that WNBA platform and that NBA platform, it's going to be a difference in urgency.
The players who are in the NBA that, as you talked about earlier, sometimes have a larger platform. It's not fair, but it's what it is. What do you think some of the players can be doing to be helpful right now?
In my opinion, honestly, exactly what Chris Paul was doing. It blew my mind when I saw him walk in, and my wife on his body. I hate that, we are here. But things like that, they help, they matter. His platform is humongous. And so for him to, use.
Bruh, that literally means nothing. Y'all need to be focused on how are you going to convince Putin?
It in that way to, show support. Like, it meant the world to me. And I know it's going to mean the world to BG. She doesn't even know about any of this stuff, to my knowledge, because I don't know if she can see this type of stuff. But one day she.
Shout out to Dream Doll. She actually made a really good point in the chat. She says they cry and say black men are the most persecuted by the system, then turn around and say if it was a black man, they would have let him out. They literally moved the goalposts every situation.
Oh, say like
Absolutely. Very insightful. It's like they want to say, oh, black men are oppressed. So who's more oppressed, black men or black women? Like now at this point, we're in the oppression Olympics.
You will, because I have so much faith that we're going to get her back. And so, speaking for her, I know she would care, and I definitely care.
I'm curious to know how hopeful you are.
To be very honest,
I ain't gonna lie, the woman interviewing her is bad as fuck though. That ain't her hair though, but she's still bad.
As the days went by from the initial day of February the 17th, I think for like that first week, 2-week mark, I was extremely hopeful because in my mind, I'm like, this is.
Oh, that's Angela Rye. Damn, she cleaned up well. Like usually she'd be looking a hot mess. I didn't know that was her.
It's Brittney Griner. So for me, I was so hopeful because
Damn, I don't know. It looked like they took like 7 years off her because every time I see her, she looks stressed out.
I'm just like, they're going to go get her. She's wrongfully grabbed. They're going to go get her. Our president is going to, wake up and see that this is a big deal and that he can actually do something about it.
Have you spoken to the president?
I have not.
Not met with him?
No, have
So
not.
if you had the opportunity, Cherelle, today to say something to President Biden, what would you say?
If he is a person that can get my person back, I would love to meet him. I have requested a meeting with him. And so I hope he accepts in the near future, to meet with me because I want my person back. I feel every second that BG's not here. Most people are counted by the days, but it's not days for me. Like, okay.
Here we go.
Okay. I need a second.
Okay, it's okay. Take your time.
She feeling guilty because she just fucked the nigga. Oh God. Oh my God. Brittney Griner has fucked up royally. I mean, how could you make a mistake like this? It's really ridiculous. The accountability is I'm sure it's overwhelming right now for Brittney. And we feel that. It's in the air. Okay. It is in the air. And I mean, if she would have got arrested in America for the same thing, she probably wouldn't even got arrested. That's it. And she was complaining so much about that's what makes this story even worse.
Let's look now at what Brittney Griner could be facing, even as the U.S. government continues to negotiate for her release in a prisoner swap. The basketball star was sentenced to 9 years in a penal colony. That happened after Griner told a Russian court that she, quote, made an honest mistake. Her defense team had tried to persuade the judge to be lenient, saying Griner did not intend to break Russian law deliberately. Many WNBA players posted messages of solidarity, and she has been widely seen as caught up in the politics of the moment. But now there are tough choices ahead. Journalist Julia Yaffe follows this and the Russian system closely. She's the founding partner of Puck News, and she joins me now. Julia Yaffe, welcome back to the NewsHour. So 9 years in a prison, in a penal colony, for possession of a small amount of cannabis oil. How does this sentence, do you think, compare to, say, what a Russian citizen or an ordinary foreigner would have received?
Well, it's hard to say because right now an American would get a lot. In fact, earlier this summer, just a couple months ago, an American teacher who used to work at the American Embassy, Mark Fogel, was sentenced to 14 years for possession of cannabis, even though he too had a medical marijuana prescription, which...
See, so he's not the only one. He had a medical marijuana prescription, but so I mean, at least she's not alone in there. There's some people who she can look. I mean, this guy got more years than her, and he's a white man. So racism isn't the problem. Let's run it back.
Earlier this summer, just a couple months ago, an American teacher who used to work at the American Embassy, Mark Fogel, was sentenced to 14 years for possession of cannabis, even though he too had a medical marijuana prescription, which of course is meaningless in the Russian system, which is a zero tolerance country. And of course, this isn't about marijuana. and this isn't about medical marijuana. This is about the fact that Russia sees itself not as being at war with the U.S. in Ukraine right now, and it is basically kidnapping American citizens and using them as pawns to get concessions out of the U.S.
So the fact that she tried apparently to play it straight. She said it was a mistake. She said she apologized for what had happened, but that didn't seem to have any bearing on the sentence that she received.
Even if we disregard the situation around her, Russia invaded Ukraine just exactly a week after she was arrested. But even if we set that aside, even if we set aside the fact that the relations between Washington and Moscow completely fell apart in the week after she was arrested, just the arrest for drug possession basically presupposes a guilty verdict. It doesn't matter what she said in court, whether she pled guilty or not guilty, how she explained it, what kind of witnesses she brought. She would have been found guilty no matter what. The question is just, how long would the sentence be that the prosecutor...
You know how she wouldn't have been found guilty if she didn't have the vape carts on her. Shout out to Performa with the 149 super sticker.
Oh, say less.
Appreciate your support, buddy. Appreciate the support.
Prosecutor asked for, and what kind of sentence the judge would have handed down. Would it be something quote unquote light, like a 5-year, say, probation sentence, or something lenient like 6 or 7 years in a penal colony? It's worth noting that the most common prison sentence for Russian women, most Russian women in penal colonies in Russia are there for drug possession.
We don't know what to make of that. What do you think the prospects are, Julia?
So they have a zero tolerance on drugs, as you can see.
Yaffe, that there was all this talk last week about a potential prisoner swap for Brittney Griner and another American being held in Russia, Paul Whelan, for Victor Bout, a notorious arms dealer being held in the United States. What do you think the prospects are for something like that coming together?
Well, there's two things going on. The first thing is that even though Paul Whelan was framed with a memory card, essentially, and Brittney Griner was arrested with a small amount of cannabis oil, and they're being potentially traded for an arms dealer who traded arms at a massive scale internationally, which you would think would be still a lopsided trade in Russia's favor. The Russians are saying, let's do a 2-for-2 trade, otherwise it doesn't count. And they're
Oh, so you thought Russia was going to play fair, which 2-for-2 is pretty fair. It doesn't matter what the people are. It's a person for a person. That's literally all it is.
Trying to offer things that are not serious. They're now throwing into the equation an elite FSB officer who was convicted in Germany of assassinating somebody in a German park in broad daylight. So not only is he a murderer, but he's in German custody, and it's not. He's not somebody that the U.S. can even hand over. He's not in U.S. custody. From what my sources in the Biden administration tell me, though, the talks are not going well. The Russians don't seem eager to play ball, and they seem to be just kind of dragging their feet and seeing how much they can get out of the Biden administration.
They gonna let her ass sit there.
So hardly any equivalence if there were to be a swap. Julia Yaffe, what does she face? 9 years in a penal colony? What kind of imprisonment are we talking about?
In Russia, people are in prison just for their pretrial detention and while their case is being appealed, and then they're transferred to a penal colony. And many of these penal colonies are built on sites where Gulag camps were, and they still look like camps. There is a lot of outdoor time. They're doing a lot of work. A lot of women's colonies, they're sewing, for example, uniforms for state agencies. And
damn, not only are they in the gulags, but they put them hoes back in the kitchen doing domestic jobs. Them bitches sewing shit, ironing shit, cleaning up shit, washing dishes, bitches cooking. Lord have mercy. They put them hoes back in the kitchen, y'all. God damn. They turned them hoes into servants for the soldiers. They doing their laundry, cooking, cleaning, everything that American women say they don't want to do today. And we live in a patriarchy. Dude, in American prison, you got bitches eating each other's pussy, scissoring, and fucking the guards and all types of shit. It's a cesspool in these American prisons. They're having a time of their damn lives. The ones who ain't lifers. And even the lifers are having a good old, dandy time. Like, come on. Y'all need to change y'all perspective on this country because women have, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the complaint is. Women have always lived better lives than men. Let's keep it a buck. Even when they said they were oppressed, y'all was still living better lives than men. Are still living better lives than men. Okay? So, I hate to be that guy, but suck it up.
Heads of these prison colonies make a lot of money off essentially the slave labor of the women in these camps. These camps are often quite violent and have very elaborate.
Oh, so now it's slave labor. Now it's slave labor. Well, last time I checked, when you are in prison, you give up your human rights. Not your human rights, but your legal rights. Okay? So you actually can be put to work, and I think that they need to bring that shit back to the States. I'm tired of seeing these niggas sagging in their prison uniforms doing Tik Tok dances. I'm done with it. It's like there's no consequences.
Hierarchies. There's a lot of sexual violence from the guards in these camps. And my fear is that Brittney Griner, as a very tall American and Black woman, really sticks out. She doesn't speak Russian. And unless...
Oh, if she doesn't learn Russian in these 10 years, she's a damn fool. She better start getting that damn dictionary, that English-Russian dictionary, ASAP. Today. Like, she needs to start today and finish that bitch by the end of August. Because you got a long ride, honey. Just disregard any American media. Act like you finna be there for a decade. You better learn that damn language right now, tomorrow. Get you a cellmate, eat a pussy every now and then, get her to teach you the language, or you're done for.
Somebody there in the colony speaks English and takes her under their wing, she's going to have a really tough time navigating an already very harsh terrain.
Very difficult to even think about that. Julia Yaffe, thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, God. Yo, who just made that though? Let me see. David Von Kenner, he said, learn how to say I don't do butt stuff in Roski. Yo. Yeah, she better learn how to state her sexual preference or they finna run up in her ass. No cap. Okay? And no, they don't give a fuck what you identify by in Russia. That the, they, him, her, zer, sir, none of that shit matters. Okay? They don't give a fuck about how you identify. Straight up. So we do have the results for the polls. The question was, would you vote to trade Russian arms dealer for Brittney Griner? 10% said yes. We need to come to, we need to come to a compromise. And then 90% said no, see ya in 2031. So I appreciate everybody who voted on that poll. This has been a very great and informative stream. If I do say so myself, I'm giving myself a pat on the back because it was informative and it was like really funny. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of funny to bag on Brittney Griner, especially the way that she has just disrespected this country and disrespected the privilege that she has from living in this country. To see her now, man, I'm sure it's a wake-up call. And you know what? I hope that there's some resolution that can come about that doesn't involve trading very dangerous people for her release. Hopefully she can get time served in good behavior. But other than that, I don't really see a resolution coming from this unless they are willing to trade a very dangerous man for a woman who made a grave mistake. Okay, but other than that, my question is, will Cherelle hold her down? That's the real question that I want to ask the poll. So I'm going to ask this, and then we're going to get up out of here. Will Cherelle Griner, matter of fact, we'll ask this, because hold her down and staying celibate is two different things. We'll ask, will Cherelle Griner stay celibate during Brittney Griner's prison or gulag bid? Okay, so that's the question. Yes, she's a faithful woman. Oh, shit. Damn, my poll just got eliminated. Fuck. Hold on. Let me do it again. I pressed the wrong button. Cherelle Griner stay celibate during Brittney's gulag bid? Question mark. Yes. She's loyal. And no. Modern women ain't going without the D. All right, so let's get that poll voted on. Let's get that poll voted on, guys. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you share the stream. Check us out on Rumble. Check us out on Rumble, guys. We are going to go to the Rumble stream really quickly. You can find me on Rumble. We had this whole live stream that will be broadcasted. That is being broadcasted on Rumble and will be it will be posted on the Rumble afterwards as well. Let's see some other things that we have to go over. The merch store, guys, make sure you hit that merch store, guys. We have so many different products and I'm adding to them probably like once or twice a week, honestly, because I am very busy, but I try to add more products so that you guys can cop all the BGZM New 17 gear. I think that logo is really dope. My girlfriend made the logo. Obviously, it was my idea, but she really brought it to life. And, you know, I think it would be cool if y'all were rocking some BGZM New 17 merch out this bitch. We got the shorts as well. Okay. As you can see, the white shorts. You got the logo on the booty and the logo on the left corner of the shorts. And then we obviously have the t-shirts. And we also have the 90s Baby NFT hoodies, which we're also going to drop BGZM New 17 hoodies as well, because I want y'all to be warm because winter is coming. So let's see. The BGZM New 17 channel, guys, we need to get that joint to 1,000 subscribers, please. We need to get BGZM New 17 page to 1,000 subscribers. We've got 334 subscribers so far. So my goal is to get to 1,000 by the end of August. There's so much content coming out on BGZM New 17. Much more content than I can cover on here. Sometimes there will be overlap, but mostly there won't be. I drop on this channel 3 to 4 times a day, and then I drop on BGZM or Black Gen Z Mindset 3 times a day. So guys, you're not going to want to miss this. Also, tomorrow we are doing the stream on the crime bill. So Black Gen Z Mindset, anybody who rocks with us, we are going to write a crime bill. We're going to use the 94 crime bill as a prototype or a blueprint rather. And we are going to take out what we don't like, implement what we do like, and we are going to write a crime bill together live. This is part 1. I plan to get through the whole 94 crime bill. So we're going to break it down from A to Z and take out the parts that we like, take out the parts we don't like. And we are formulating these thoughts and opinions and these additions to the crime bill in the Discord. So guys, make sure you join the Discord. That Discord link is in the description right here. Also hit the Patreon. We're going to be uploading all our content to Patreon as well. But I want you guys to join the Discord so that we can continue the discussion. Send me stories in the Discord. I appreciate you guys sending me these stories. I actually covered the CBS News, the CBS 46 News Atlanta story that happened in a Denny's in DeKalb County because one of you guys suggested it to me. I also covered the Frank Abrakwa situation, our good old friend there, because you guys recommended it to me. So if you guys, please, respectfully, I love you guys, but if you're not emailing me about business, it would be better to send the stories in the Discord because I get notifications on the Discord and y'all are flooding my email. But I love y'all's, y'all's engagement, and I would not want to stifle that. I will just say I need to transition that over to the Discord because when I get hella stories and people sending me 30 stories a day in my email, it's hard to keep up with it. And, I don't want to be every Sunday. I gotta go through my emails and check what I didn't catch during the week. And it's just like a headache. So please send those stories to the Discord. Any stories that you think would be great for my channel, send them to the Discord. And you can check it out. People are still sending stories to the Discord. And we are going to be covering a lot of those stories that you guys send over to the Discord. I can't cover everything, okay? Can't cover everything. But like I said, guys, tune in tomorrow. We are going to be writing the crime bill together, and we're going to use a Google Doc, which I will add to the Discord so that we can all interactively add to the crime bill, write the crime bill ourselves, and maybe even present this bill to Congress. Hey, who knows? Okay. But anyways, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Guys, make sure you check out BGZM News 17. Make sure you follow BGZM News 17. Make sure you hit the merch store. I appreciate everybody who came in here. This was a great stream. Very enlightening, very informative, and ultimately entertaining. So I appreciate everybody for coming in. Guys, I need you all to do me a quick favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to the channel, and make sure you put a 1 in the chat if you're going to leave a comment on this live stream immediately after the stream ends. That helps me with the algorithm because y'all know YouTube is shadow banning a brother. Okay, they don't want to see me winning. They want to see me in a penitentiary. So make sure y'all go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat if you're going to make a comment right after this video for the algorithm so that we can grow and continue to find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. You already know what it is. We're going to give it up to Jenquavius Jackson to take us away. You already know. Peace.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured, but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo.
Whoa.
Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.